Thank you so much for joining us for today's class. Today we are doing a pastel X-ray hand. Super simple, let's get into it. First you're going to need a black piece of paper, a set of pastels, oil pastels preferably, a pencil, and your hand. We are going to take it back to kindergarten and we're going to trace our hand with a bit of our arm. Couple of things to note here. When you're tracing your hand, it is important that the pencil is pointing straight to the ceiling. Do not angle the pencil inward or you'll get little tiny string beans for fingers. Also, excuse my undone nail. It popped off right before the video and I said the show must go on. So here I am avoiding my nails because then they would make my fingers look extra long. But if you don't have nails on like me, then your job will be easier. We're going to go ahead and finish up tracing our hand here. And that's it. The first thing we're going to do once we traced our hand is we're going to do a rounded triangle on the top of each of our fingers. We are going to try to emulate the little bones in each of our fingers. So you want it to go close to your edge, but not quite touching. We are going to then count how many digits are each of our fingers. Our thumb is going to have 2 digits, and here you can see I am dividing my thumb based on the wrinkles of my hand. We're also going to draw a line for our wrist so we know where the group of bones go there. Let's go ahead and divide each of our fingers 3 times. Each of them is going to have a line at the base and 2 lines that are almost equal in size inside each finger, just to give us an easier way of sizing each of our mini bones. Let's go ahead and continue our rounded triangles. And it's a triangle with a little bump at the bottom. If they don't come out exactly like mine, that's okay too. Once we've done our triangles, all the other bones are going to be 2 horizontal lines with an kind of like an M at the top and a W at the bottom. So 2 horizontal lines and the W, M. The guidelines that we use those as the size of your bone and then go a little bit below and a little bit above. So once again, 2 horizontal lines, M at the top, W at the bottom. And you're going to continue that with the rest of your spaces. Now we're going to do the thumb bone. We're going to add a curved rectangle to about right here. I forgot to fill in the rest of my fingers. I hope you guys did. It's so interesting that our bones are able to move because they have gaps in between them. That looks good. Okay, so to do the palm of our fingers, we're going to do 4 guidelines. All of our guidelines should be coming towards the center of our wrist. We're going to use these lines to help us do our longer bones. But the idea is still the same. 2 longer horizontal lines with a slight W at the bottom and a M at the top. As you can see, they are getting closer at the bottom of each bone. This one, we're going to kind of make it fit there. Our little M. Perfect. Now we're going to do our bigger bones. We're going to start with 2 lines. This is going to be the biggest bone in our arm with a M at the top all the way to our wrist guideline. And then we're going to add the thinner bone that's next to it. And if you know the name of these bones, leave them in the comment. That's it for our arm. And now we're going to add all of the little floating bones that make up what is our wrist. That is why your wrist can move and bend in all kinds of directions. That's what makes that possible. Do not come at me for anatomically correctness. It is a drawing after all. And then that's it. Let's get to pastels. The first color we are going to use today is red. And we are going to place the red on the right-hand side of each bone. The idea here is to get each bone to blend from red to white. So as we go on with pastels, you'll realize that they are very, very easy to blend together, which is why I chose it for this video. And they're very easy to use. So you are going to color about half of each bone in red pastel. Now, because we are on black, you might have to press a little harder. If you still feel like you can see the black through your red, that's okay. Once we add the white, that'll cover that problem. The next color we're going to grab is white, and you're going to do the opposite of what we did with the red. Every left-hand side of each bone is going to be white. You can overlap on some of the red to create a nice pink, and you can use the white to blend the red a little bit, and you'll see that it goes from white to pink to red. It's a nice little combination here because the bones will really stick out with this white now. Enjoy. See you when you're done. Once you're done with the white on the bone, we're going to go ahead and outline all of our pencils with the white. You're also going to outline each bone with white. I know this part is going to be a little difficult because the pastel is so big. Just take your time, and if you want to skip this part, that's okay too. It does give it a nice glow, but take your time. Okay, once we're done with the outline, we're going to go ahead and grab green. The reason why we are grabbing our lime green, not only is it a very cool color against the black, but it's because we are doing complementary colors. Green is a complement of red. And what does that mean? Is that it's on the opposite side of the color spectrum, color wheel, and they complement each other. So that's why Christmas is red and green. Another example of complementary colors would be orange and blue, and then yellow and purple. Typically, it's a primary color with a secondary color. Here, what we're doing is we are dragging with our finger outward. It's going to give it kind of like a shine, almost like a glow. You can play with this. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. And if you have to do a couple layers like I am, that's okay as well. The idea is to drag it away from the hand, and you're going to do that around the fingers and to the other side of the arm. Depending on how good your pastels are, will determine how much you have to pull the color out. But this is the vibe we're going for, kind of like a glow, kind of spooky. Take your time here. If you like the way it looks without the pool, you can also just leave it just the green. Make sure that you do the colored part of the green about half an inch or more. We do want it to look thicker than a line. As always, I'm going to take a moment to ask you guys, if you are enjoying my videos, please like, comment, and share, and tag me on your finished products. We are going to take our black pastel now to fix any little colors that ended up touching. We want all of our bones to be floating inside our hand, and because pastels are so easy to manipulate and cover, this is a perfect chance to fix whatever mistakes we made along the way. Black will cover the whites touching, super easy. Just make sure you don't press too hard or it will create a gray. Thank you so much for being with me today on this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. This is a finished product. Join us next week when we draw Mira from Demon Hunters. See you there.